Yo, what's up, people? So, I've been getting a few requests here to do a suppression guide, and the reason I haven't really done it is because there's already like tons of suppression guides out, and the one I'm about to show you guys is pretty much the baseline of what people go on, which is Archon Ghoul's POV for everything. I'm just making this though because he shows how to do this here, but I don't think people actually know why they're doing it, so I'm just gonna go step by step to explain why you're doing things a certain way. So before we get into each POV, I want to talk about one thing in suppression that you have to worry about, which is the plumes on the edge of the arena, which a lot of people seem to run into when they're getting to suppression for the first time, or they think they understand suppression but they don't. So if you notice over here, there's this blue like feather, and it's floating around. There's multiple of them floating around. See, there's another one there. So in suppression, you do not want to be like further than like here of the arena. You kind of want to deal with suppression with the like an inner ring. If you touch this, it does an AoE explosion around the person who ran into it. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna kill multiple people because it's that's just how the mechanic works. A lot of people are near each other, and you'll probably kill somebody. So first thing in suppression is you want to use like this inner portion of the arena here. You're trying not to go like out here. But let's do the eruptions. So first thing in suppression, you do your lineup. You usually do this the ultimate transition, where it's like the minute-long cutscene of transforming, whatever. And then you assign your spots like this. At least in Party Finder, that's how it's done. If you're in a static, obviously you just set positions and leave it at that. Now, in suppression, as soon as everybody lines up here, you're gonna know what you have in the first like few seconds. So the very first thing that goes off is the eruptions. So he has an eruption, the person over here has an eruption, and someone over here has an eruption. It's really hard to tell in the video, but eruptions are the first thing you see. The next thing you see after that is the plumes, or the Mistral Songs. Sorry, the Mistral Songs is what you see next. You'll see that right now. See the green? So the green are the Mistral Songs. So we have to do two different things here, but right now I'm just identifying who gets what. So right now you got eruptions and Mistral Songs. As soon as you see those two, there's one more mechanic. It's called Light Pillar. I'll talk about that after. But yeah, the first mechanics here is the eruption. So we're gonna start the wall, and we're gonna curve inwards. So what everybody wants to do is kind of curve inwards to like the middle here, and then go behind the Garuda sister here. So if you're D marker, please God, if you're D marker, so this guy GM over here, if you are D and you have an eruption, you need to curve yourself inwards like this, because if you run straight like that, you're gonna drop an eruption on the tanks, and the tanks and whoever's there is probably gonna die. So make sure if you are this person here on this D marker, or whatever marker it is that's here, that's close to the tanks, you curve inward if you're eruption. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the sister there? So there's a sister. So some people in Party Finder like to use this stupid marker layout, which has like a 3 marker here, because people don't realize that like where you're supposed to put the jail or whatever. They're like, I don't know where to put the jail. It's always behind the sister. Right here. Just behind this sister right here. She's not hard to see. You're running right towards her. Do not use that 3 marker, please. Anyways, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna drop it behind the sister. Do not in front. If you drop it in front of the sister, the 4th one, you're probably dead. You need to do behind. And then you're gonna curve left out here. You do not want to curve right. Also, see the plumes I was talking about earlier? This is why you don't run to the edge. This is as far as you can go. Behind the sister. Don't go any further than this. Otherwise, he would have killed the party if we went like this way. Anyways, we're gonna drop it, curve up and left. See, even he went really far out. He could have been killed here because he's so far out. But luckily, the plume didn't hit him, so it's fine because it's a little bit back here. But see, curve around, and then you hit the jail. You have to remember that there's 2 feather rains that go off, so you have to make sure that everybody running to the jail to break it, do not run into somebody else's path, because there's 2 feather rains. Just one right there, and then there was just another one right there. As soon as you kill the jail, You're going to stack on B. At least this is how Party Finder does it. I know that is not the most viable solution, but this is what Party Finder does. So I'm just explaining how Party Finder does it. We stack on B. And this is very important. Very, very important. So usually the camera, let's say the camera's flipped towards like A. His camera's kind of flipped sideways, but let's say the camera's flipped towards A. So A is like north. So the tank is going to move like north here. The party needs to dodge south. The party cannot dodge north and then back down. If you dodge north and then back down, you're going to cause a lot of problems. So when you're dodging this initial landslide, always dodge down. Do not dodge up, or you risk the chance of taking this tether or getting hit by an ultimate laser that's here. See, as you can see, there's one right there. If you moved up, you would have been killed, 100%. So you move down. As soon as the landslide disappears, you move back onto the beat marker. Wait for the feather rain, and then you move again. And that's it. So eruptions, you 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 behind the sister. And you curve left. Left and then back around to the jail. Make sure you kill the jail. Save your burst for this jail. If you're pushing suppression, which is 50%, you do not use your burst on Ultima. Save your burst for this jail, because if you do not kill this jail, you wipe. So that's it. Eruption's very easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and you curve left and back around. Now, we're going to do the actual jail here, which is the exact same as the eruptions. The only difference is, for the jail, is that the jail is going to stay in the 4th eruption, because if you're jailed, you will not take damage from the 4th eruption. So you got 1, 2, 3, so he could tell he's jailed by the marker around him. 3, 4. See, he stays right here, because the eruption will not kill him on the 4th one, because he's the jail. See how he's behind the sister? If he was any further than this, we would have had problems. We would have a lot of problems if he was like here, because first of all, the plumes are flying around the arena, and 2, it's really far away from everybody else. Behind the sister. That's it. That's the baseline for most of this shit, is behind the sister. So there it is. As your jail, you pretty much do nothing. You just sit there and hope, pray to God that your team can kill it. And then stack on beat marker. Same thing. And then dodge down, and then back up. Easy. Very simple. Alright, Mistral Song. So Mistral Song is the second thing you're going to be able to tell. So first is eruptions, and then we're going to see the Mistrals. So boom, boom. So he's Mistral, and then I think this person over here is Mistral. Mistrals need to be behind the tanks. The reason being is because just like in phase 1 of Garuda, the sisters are shooting Mistrals from where they are, so it needs to be intercepted by a tank. Obviously, if you're not behind the tank, if you're in front of the tank, you're going to get killed, because you're not supposed to be taking it. You do not have enough armor, you don't have enough HP to take this. So the tanks need to make sure they are in front of the 2 people. You have to leave enough room for the 2 people that have Mistral to be behind you, because you need to be in front. If they are somewhat in front of the tank, they're going to die. So they're going to take the hit. Move 1, 2, feather rain, and then kill the jail. Exact same thing. Stack on B, dodge down, and then back up. Now we'll do light pillar. This is the one that people kind of have issues with. They either don't get marked with it quite often, or they just get it one time and they don't quite understand it. So you'll know you have light pillar because light pillar does not get marked with anything at all. So you don't get marked with eruption, you don't get marked with Mistral, you'll have no indicator of what you have. So that's how you know you have light pillar. So there's the eruption, and there's the Mistral. He did not get marked with Mistral, and there was no eruption under him. Therefore, he knew right away at the second eruption here that he is light pillar. So what light pillar is quite literally a light pillar chasing you around. It doesn't happen right away. It happens after the Mistral songs are shot out. So after that, and then the feathering goes. Now the light pillar is chasing. You see the explosions behind him. That's what light pillar is. Now the strat he's doing for light pillar, I don't personally recommend. So what he's doing is going with the tanks and the other Mistral Songs. The problem with doing this is that if the tanks are mispositioned or the light pillar person is mispositioned, you're going to die by the Mistral. And if you die as light pillar with the Mistral Song, you are wiping the party because it's very, very unrecoverable. So when you die with light pillar, it's going to give it to somebody else randomly. Therefore, it's going to kill the party because it's just going to be a bunch of AoE damage that the healers are not expecting. So what I recommend doing with light pillar is following the eruptions in a way. So just pretend that he does not have eruptions right now in this first clip. Pretend he's light pillar. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Follow the eruptions. You're going to stand behind Garuda for a sec. Now, see, you cut left. Instead of cutting around and curving around like this, how he's running back to the jail, light pillar just keeps running in a circle. You just keep moving around in a circle as light pillar. Let me see if I can find a clip for you guys. Here it is here. This is one of my clips. I have it posted in UPR, but here's the light pillar that I recommend doing. So there, no eruption, no Mistral. I know I'm light pillar. I wait behind here for a second, and I do a full circle. I just keep running. You see how I'm not touching the edge of the arena? But you do this to avoid being one shot by the Mistral if the tanks are mispositioned. This is why I recommend this way of doing it, because I've seen a lot of deaths go in the other direction. And then you just keep moving. Now, I made a mistake in this video a little bit. I was kind of monka steering, but as you're circling around, you might get in the same situation where the tornadoes are in front of you. However, the animation is already going off. If you see the animation of like the tornado like spinning, you can move into it and keep moving. I was kind of like in a panic for a second there, and I just kind of was like, oh no, what do I do? And then I just unwanted, which if you're not playing Dancer, you won't have that, but you can move into it. Make sure the animation is like twirling around like that, and you can move into it and just keep circling around. Light pillar is very easy to do, but it's also very easy to mess up. Now, for the tanks, because tanks don't actually have to do suppression, they could just sit there and do nothing. It's quite simple. Let me go. So I'll watch the Mistral Song point of view. Show you where the tanks are. So the tanks, these guys are standing a bit off of what I'm usually used to, but you kind of stand between like D and the C together. So you would stand like here and like here. As long as one tank is in front of the sister that's here, you can't see her because of the explosion, but there's a sister here and there's a sister here. You have to make sure, so this tank is here and this tank is here. So they are in front of the Mistral Song because it's from the sisters, right? It's not from like anywhere else. It's from directly from these two. So you have to make sure you're in front. So you just stand there and wait for the hit. One important thing to note is whoever is on the left side, so which would be this AR guy, if you're positioned too much to the left, so if you're stand in this green AoE, you will die. So you can't stand in this green AoE. So as soon as you take that hit, so if you're too far over, it's fine if you're initially hit by the Mistral and you're over in this green area, but as soon as you're hit, move out. So if you're hit here, you eat the Mistral, it's good, you did your job. Now move over to the right, because if you stay in this green AoE, you're going to get cleave. Garuda does a cleave here. So that's why you do not want to stay over there. So you'll take the hit and then move to the right if you're on the left side. If you're the tank on the right, you don't have to worry about that. And then you do the same thing. You dodge 2 feather rains and beat the jail up. However, if you're the main tank should have 1 stack of thermal low, and you're the one taking the tether in this phase. So how the rest of the party is moving down here, you see the tank moves north. The tank is moving north to grab this tether, and then the tank who grabs this tether will move into the landslide up here. You do not move back down here. So you take the tether and move into here. He's up there. You can't see him, but he's up there. The off tank will stay with the rest of the party. And that's it. That's how you do suppression. Very, very simple.